One, two, one, two, three.
Should people be allowed to own guns? Why or why not? No. Can you imagine how many more people would be injured or killed when guns are owned by responsible people? So, people should not be allowed to own guns. Because if we are living in the USA, a civilized country, we should not be allowed to own guns. Because Americans are surrounded by police, government, highway patrol, and many more. So if guns are allowed, then only the nuts and crazy people would use them against innocent people. Freedom has nothing to do with an argument. Guns don't help solve any problem. They just make things worse. And we just want people to be safe.
The question is, should people be allowed to own guns? And I think that the big answer is yes, because in the Constitution, the Second Amendment says people have the right to bear arms. But I think that there should be limits on what kinds of guns people own, and people should have to, there should be laws about like people keeping track of their guns and about who's allowed to own them. If you're a criminal or if you have mental health issues, you shouldn't be allowed to own them.
Should people be allowed to own guns? Why or why not?
Should people be allowed to own guns? I personally am not a fan of guns. I would like to live in a country where nobody had guns, not even police officers. However, that is not the case, and so I don't think that in the United States right now we can just take guns away from people and take gun ownership away from people. So the matter is pretty complicated. But in a perfect world for me, nobody would have guns.